All right, well guys, welcome back to the shop. I'm Chris with M7 Metalworks. What you're looking at here is a 1955 Super 55 flywheel. I went ahead and taken the ring gear off. So I wished I would have had the forethought at that time to have done it on camera, but I didn't. But I will tell you how I did it, and that it was very simple. You just get yourself a punch and a good size hammer, and you knock it off of this little ridge. It sits right on this ridge, and you just knock it off. And when you get her scooted down to here, she'll come right off, no problem at all. It took, several hammer blows, obviously, and I worked myself around, my way around, so as to not knock it too far on one particular side. That way I'm not damaging my flywheel surface. So now what we're going to do, let me show you the old ring first. So here's the old ring. It's gnarly. That's probably looking at some of the good side of it. And you got chips on that thing, it's chewed up pretty good. Now, there is so you see that etch side here? The other side, just flat, okay? So, that side there goes on the flywheel. So, if, like we had it on the floor, that side would go toward the down side, or toward the floor. So that side would go toward the floor. This right here. When we put it on, this side will be up because I'll have the flywheel flipped over. And then we'll put this ring gear on, and it'll be groove side up. So just so you understand that a little bit, hopefully. So now it's time to heat this up. So the way this works is, I've got some other parts here, so forgive me. Shop is a bit of a mess. I've got a lot going on. So right now we got to get this ring gear heated up to 400, between 400 and 450. So the best way for me to do that in my situation is I'm going to use my wife's kitchen stove. That's the only really way I can control the heat the way I need it controlled. I do have an oven in the shop, but I don't believe it'll accept this ring gear. It's too large. So you could do this with a torch, by heating it up with a torch. The problem is if you overheat this, you're going to lose the temper on this. And these teeth need to be a certain hardness. So if you overheat it, because, I'm not going to put it in my oven where I can control the temperature, I'm going to heat it up with a torch. Well, the problem there is you may get it to 600 degrees, 700 degrees here, 800 degrees over there, and 250 degrees over here. You may have such an uneven heat that you get soft spots in your ring gear, and you don't want that. I mean, the whole purpose in replacing this is that he gets a nice ring gear that's got all the hardness it's supposed to have, and he never has to worry about starting that engine again. So we're going to do this the right way. We're going to put it in the oven. We'll bring it up to 425. We'll put it right in the middle. While that's heating up, we'll get our flywheel cleaned up. So let's do that now. All right, guys, so we've got most of the grit and the grime off of it. So now we're going to use our little orbital sander with a 120 grit on there, and we're going to clean this all up. Remember, we're going to be putting a new clutch disc on this as well as a pressure plate. So we're going to get this all cleaned up so it's ready to go. I've also taken the time to degrease all of this as well. We'll also run a wire brush or a fine steel wool, and some WD-40 across that as well. Maybe take a little bit of acetone just to degrease it. And so let's get this cleaned up. Well, that cleaned up real nice. I know you can see some scoring in here, but it's so minimal, guys. I mean, I can't even feel it. Yeah, I can't feel it barehanded or with a glove on. I can see some discoloration. I think that's more of what we're seeing is some discoloration in the steel, because it feels perfect. Feels really good. So we'll clean this up again before it's all said and done. At the end, we'll put some acetone on there and get that thing real clean. So we got a part number over here. That's the E1913C. So I'm assuming that's the flywheel part number. This is getting a 10-inch clutch disc with the correct pressure plate. So keep that in mind. The pressure plate, I haven't shown anybody yet on this, but it's brand new. Looks perfect. So okay, guys, so you see our oven temp is at 420 right now. So I've got the flywheel in my garage right now. It's just so I don't have to run out to the shop and give the ring gear a chance to cool off. Alrighty. Let's see here. Oh, I'm pretty close. Pretty darn good. Oh yeah. Just gonna stick it on the ground, and that way I don't have any flex in my surface. that has seated beautifully. And it is totally cold now. Wow. All right. It's seated really nice up against that ridge. I've got no deviation there. It's exactly what we want. And that gear cools off very quickly. Yes, I do have blood on my finger. I got a blood blister that popped. So I'm gonna go turn the oven off. That's been heating at 450, guys. Had to get it to 450. And I let it soak in that temperature for about 30 minutes. So, and it was still, you know, didn't just drop on it. Still took some time to pound it on. And I used a brass punch or drift and a brass hammer. And I just didn't want to damage the gears at all by using steel against steel. So that's why we use the soft brass. Well guys, that's the installation of a ring gear on a Super 55 flywheel. So now we'll take the bottom here again. We're going to clean it up. Probably take another piece of sandpaper to it. Don't forget to clean out your holes here. These are your counterweight or counterbalance holes. They pull metal from that so that this thing is balanced. This one just had a bunch of mud dauber debris in there. But still that adds weight, and so you want to just get those things free and cleared. And same with the grease holes, you know, clean all that kind of stuff out. But anyways, I hope that helped you. You can see where my brass hammer was hitting. Leaves a little bit of brass everywhere. But the nice thing is all those edges are crisp and clean. And remember, that's the side that's engaging on your starter ring. Anyways, I hope this helps you guys. I'm Chris with M7 Metalworks. Thanks for watching.